After several months of researching Luxor, reading hundreds of reviews from American guests over 50, and digging deep into financial reports, I discovered a hard-to-swallow truth about one of Las Vegas's biggest icons. Let's go back to Vegas in the 90s. In the middle of the desert stood a towering 30-story black glass pyramid, 357 feet high, and from its apex, a beam of light so powerful it could be seen from 250 miles away by airplane. That was Luxor, a $375 million marvel built by Circus Enterprises, promising a mystical Egyptian adventure. Yet today, for many Americans over 50, especially middle-aged couples who once brought their children here in the 90s, returning to Luxor is a shock. They remember a family-friendly wonder full of light and fun, but what they get now are dated rooms, musty hallways, agonizingly long waits for elevators, and the bitter feeling that they are just walking wallets. So how did a legendary icon turn into such a profound disappointment? Luxor didn't just get old. It feels like it's been abandoned by its owners, squeezed for every penny from its most loyal guests, instead of being upgraded to welcome them back in their later years. If you once loved Luxor and want to understand what's really happening behind the glamorous facade of this pyramid hotel, stay with me until the end of the video. And consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss other candid analyses of strip resorts. To understand Luxor's downfall, we must return to its origins. In the early 90s, Vegas was in an arms race, not with weapons, but with themed mega-resorts. Amidst that frenzy, Circus Enterprises, a company known for its budget-friendly resorts, decided to make a huge gamble. They broke ground on April 21, 1992, and announced a 30-story black glass pyramid with a colossal cost of $375 million, financed entirely with internal cash flow without outside investors. At 4 a.m. on October 15, 1993, after a spectacular launch event for hundreds of guests the night before, Luxor officially opened its doors to thousands of guests, operated by 4,500 employees. With an initial 2,526 rooms, Luxor wasn't just a hotel, it was a statement. Everything was designed to transport you to ancient Egypt. A giant sphinx greeted you. Inside was the atrium, the largest indoor lobby space in the world at the time by volume, with 29 million cubic feet. So vast it could hold 9 Boeing 747s stacked on top of each other. Instead of conventional elevators, you had inclinators, cabins that moved along the pyramid's 39-degree incline. Guests could take a boat ride on a 3,000-foot artificial Nile River that wound around the casino and visit a replica of King Tut's tomb. And above it all was the Skybeam, the most powerful light beam in the world at its opening. It was created by 39 xenon lamps, each with a power of 7,000 watts, producing an intensity of over 40 billion candela. This beam was so bright it created its own ecosystem, attracting insects, bats, and birds. It cost $51 per hour to operate, and the lamp room at the pyramid's apex reached 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius, requiring 2 maintenance workers daily. Due to costs, its power was cut in half starting in 2008. In its early years, Luxor was a resounding success, with room occupancy consistently above 90%. Its parent company, Circus Enterprises, later Mandalay Resort Group, reported record revenues of nearly $1 billion in fiscal year 1993, largely thanks to Luxor. Luxor's own profit reached about $90 million in its first year and $86 million in its second, and it was said to be consistently profitable until 2003. attracting more visitors than the actual city of Luxor in Egypt. However, the first cracks were already appearing. During a $300 million expansion from 1996 to 1997, which added two 22-story towers and Nevada's first 3D IMAX theater, the Nile River boat ride was removed after only 3 years of operation. The company president, William Bennett, admitted that Clark County's regulations regarding the pyramid's shape had unnecessarily increased construction costs. The sloped design also wasted space and created maintenance difficulties, causing operational nightmares from the very beginning. These early cracks foreshadowed a shocking collapse. Reviews and legal records from the past few years serve as the crime scene. With over 64,816 reviews on TripAdvisor as of 2025, Luxor has a rating of only 3.5 out of 5 stars, one of the lowest among major Las Vegas resorts, painting an incredibly bleak picture. In recent years, Luxor has become associated with a horrifying problem: bed bugs. In 2025, at least 3 lawsuits regarding bed bugs were filed, 2 against Luxor and a similar one against Treasure Island. The plaintiffs in the Luxor cases include Stephen and Courtney Gully from Illinois, who stayed in June 2024, and Brianna McKenzie from Washington, who stayed in July 2024. They allege that the bites caused permanent scarring and severe allergic reactions. Courtney Gully's case was particularly severe. Her throat swelled so much that she had to be treated by paramedics in Luxor's parking lot due to fears related to the bed bugs. Although hotel staff later confirmed the presence of bed bugs in the room, they only refunded the resort fee and did not cover medical costs. Each lawsuit seeks over $30,000 in damages. This issue isn't new. Reports of bed bugs have appeared on TripAdvisor since 2006 and became widespread in the 2024 to 2025 period. Additionally, there have been lawsuits regarding mold exposure in the rooms, with videos from guests serving as evidence. Besides bed bugs, words like outdated, worn, and dirty appear constantly. TripAdvisor reviews from 2025 describe rooms with musty smells, peeling paint on bathroom ceilings, and slippery floors. The elevators are described as dirty, with water leaking from the ceilings when it rains. Numerous videos on YouTube and Reddit from 2024 to 2025 confirm this state of affairs, showing rooms that are old, dirty, and in urgent need of updating. Notably, many rooms don't even have a mini fridge, a basic amenity found even in cheap motels. Guests who want one must pay an additional fee of $35 per day. This deterioration is not due to natural aging, but is the result of poor maintenance stemming from the MGM VC business model. The decay isn't just aesthetic, it has become a real danger. In November 2023, a lawsuit was filed alleging a guest suffered a brain injury from an electric shock from a faulty lamp in their room at Luxor. Worse, a shocking report from 2010 revealed that inspectors discovered 2 support columns in the pyramid's basement had never been completed during the original construction in 1993. Although MGM later rectified the problem, this incident raised a disturbing question. If the foundation was neglected, what else in this massive building is also being ignored? These problems demonstrate systemic neglect, not natural wear and tear. After hearing this evidence, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever had to stay in a severely run-down hotel room in Vegas? Share your story in the comments. Your experience could help others avoid a similar situation. So, what is the root cause of the decline that has led to customer complaints and countless one-star reviews? The answer lies in 2 strategic decisions made by its owner, MGM Resorts International, after they acquired Luxor. The first blow to Luxor's soul came in 2005 when MGM Mirage, now MGM Resorts, acquired its parent company, Mandalay Resort Group. The new management believed the era of family-friendly themed hotels was over. So, in 2007, they launched a $300 million renovation with a clear goal: to de-theme Luxor, systematically removing its Egyptian elements to turn it into a more modern, adult-oriented resort. Felix Rappaport, Luxor's general manager at the time, stated bluntly, "We're not a British museum with ancient artifacts. We are a casino resort." Under this strategy, statues and hieroglyphics were removed. The Nile River boat ride was permanently closed in 2006. Nefertiti's Lounge, a highlight of the theme, was replaced by the modern Aurora Bar. The result was an identity disaster. Luxor lost the uniqueness that made its name, but due to its inherent pyramid shape, it could never become a true high-end hotel. It became stuck in limbo, leading to continuous reviews complaining that it was outdated and had no character. But the decisive blow to Luxor was a cold financial strategy called asset-light. In 2017, MGM executed a massive deal. They sold the Luxor building, along with 4 other resorts, including Mandalay Bay, Excalibur, Delano, and MGM Grand, to a real estate investment trust, AREIT, named VC Properties for $17.2 billion. MGM received $4.2 billion in cash and immediately signed a lease to rent back the same properties for 49 years, with an option to extend for another 50 years. The initial annual rent MGM had to pay VCI was about $1 billion. This deal created a deadly responsibility gap. VC, as the landlord and a REIT, is only interested in collecting stable rent, which accounts for about 10 to 15% of revenue. They have no incentive to spend hundreds of millions on major upgrades for a property they don't directly operate. Conversely, MGM, as the tenant, faces a huge rent bill. To maximize profit and pay the rent, their top priority is cutting costs. Expensive items like major maintenance, deep periodic cleaning, and room renovations, capital expenditures, CapEx, over $100 million, are often the first to be cut. The result is a stalemate, where no one has a financial interest in long-term investment in the building's health. The 2025 bedbug and mold lawsuits and the one-star reviews of dirty and neglected rooms are not accidental. They are the direct result of this asset-milking model, where investment in maintenance and regular upkeep is sacrificed for short-term profit. So who pays the price for Luxor's decline? Not luxury travelers. The real victims are the people Luxor targets: families on a tight budget, young people visiting Vegas for the first time, and those attracted by 2 factors: the pyramid's image and what seems to be a very cheap room rate. MGM and VC have positioned Luxor as a value trap. They advertise attractive room rates, sometimes as low as $40 to $60 a night. For a family, the offer to stay in a giant pyramid for the price of a roadside motel is hard to refuse. But that cheap price comes with an invisible cost. It's the hidden resort fees, the risk of sleeping in a moldy room, the anxiety about bed bugs, and facing a filthy bathroom. It's the disappointment of realizing your Vegas dream is actually a worn-out nightmare, turning an icon into a tourist trap. This business model is leveraging its own legacy as bait to attract the most vulnerable customers. The greatest irony is that the pyramid shape itself, once its biggest asset, has now become its biggest liability. Demolishing such a complex structure would be incredibly expensive. So, MGM and VC are stuck. They don't want to invest to fix it, but tearing it down is also too costly. The result is the current situation, a milk it until it dies strategy, where the hotel is maintained at a bare minimum to extract as much revenue as possible, while the building continues to crumble from the inside. This raises an important question for all of us when planning a trip. Is saving a little money on a hotel room worth risking your safety and cleanliness? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I truly want to hear your perspective. Luxor's journey is a sad tale of an icon of innovation that has become a monument to corporate apathy. We saw how gloriously it was born at a cost of $375 million, and we witnessed how its soul was stripped away when MGM decided to de-theme it. We dissected the cold, asset-light business model that created a responsibility gap, leaving the building to rot. The bedbug lawsuits and videos of rundown rooms are just symptoms of a larger disease, systemic neglect. The tragedy of Luxor also reflects a larger trend in Vegas, the disappearance of unique experiences to make way for luxurious but uniform resorts. The soul of Vegas is slowly being sold off to maximize profit. Today, Luxor still stands, a towering black pyramid in the desert. But its light has faded. The beam at its apex, though still one of the most powerful in the world, no longer seems to illuminate a dream, but rather to shine a light on a gradually collapsing tomb. The story of Luxor is a cautionary tale. What do you think about this? Was its decline inevitable? Or is this the future awaiting other Vegas icons when they no longer deliver maximum profit? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching.